What's up, people? This is William Jones making videos about leaving religion. The purpose of the videos is to get you to think. Turn your brains on and think. And use logic and use reason and realize that religion is fake. Alright, what's up, people? Today is January 25th, 2025. Wow. And I do have some good news for you all. I finally shot the Satan video, and it will be released this week. I'm almost finished editing it. A whole lot to edit because there's so many passages from the Bible in it, as they want to say scriptures, just passages in the Bible where I just break down and we talk about Satan. Let's see what the Bible has to say about him. So look for that video coming this week. I appreciate all the love I've received on the video I just dropped. You know, all the love to my mom, the love to me. You know, the comments were incredible, and I really, really thank you all and all the new people that started subscribing to the videos. I just want the videos to help people. Because, you know, once you leave religion, you're the minority, and it's kind of hard to, you know, find a, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. A support group. That's what I'm saying. You need a support group. That's why I started making the videos in 2017. It's for people like myself who had nowhere to go. You know, there got to be people out there like you who left religion as well and getting dogged by their former circle. So that's what this was about. Made me think about some stuff. I was sitting here watching a video of myself from 13 years ago when I was out there preaching and teaching, and the videos are actually still on. I got them on YouTube, but I disabled them so people couldn't see them. But I figure I'll show y'all just a little bit of this. For those of you who wonder, this was me when I was believing in Jesus.
That's not the way it was supposed to be. So Jesus came and said, look, we ain't got time to wait until the age to come gets here. We're going to bring the power in now.
Yes. Yes.
We're going to bring it in now. And now let's go to this one. Watch this. Luke chapter 10. Now, what Jesus did, he also told the disciples. You'll always notice this in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. It'll always say that Jesus went about preaching the gospel, and it's always followed with healing everyone that was sick and casting out demons. That was how he preached the gospel. He went about.
Wow. That was me. That was 13 years ago. Woo! I watch some of these videos and I can't watch them. I just can't watch it because the stuff I'm saying, I'm just like, it's not true. And notice how I said that Matthew, Mark, and Luke said, and today I'm teaching you now because I know that Mark was written first and that Matthew and Luke copied them. So back then I was saying it without the knowledge of knowing how the books came together. I was still teaching. I was wrong, but I mean, I didn't know, but I was still teaching. But you know, that brings me to something I wanted to ask to those of you watching today. It's like, you know, when I was in religion, and the girlfriend I'm with now, right, I was, as you see, highly religious. She was just, you know, say she's a Christian, but she'll cuss you out. You know, she don't play that mess, right? So then everything flipped, and I became a non-believer, or atheist, or realist, as I like to call it. And she's still where she is, and we're fine, you know? But I mean, we don't really bring up religion, you know, and it's awkward. Like, we go to dinners or Thanksgiving, something to that effect, and they'll say, "Anybody want to pray over the meal?" And she'll look at me like she want me to pray, because I could do it. I could bring down the fire from heaven, or as we really call it, get everybody's emotions stirred up. I could still do it. But I look at her like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do it. Then they're going to be talking all that church stuff. They might invite me to come preach. I'm not opening up that door. But all I'm saying is, you know, we don't really discuss it. So even with all the videos I've done, she's never seen one of my videos. Not one. I can't even discuss this stuff with her. I discuss it more here on YouTube with you all who can't even respond back except in the comments. which is why I know some people say, you need to get a podcast. I still know how to set up a podcast, but I still say I'll look into it. But I express more with the viewers here than I can with her because, yet again, she still believes and she can't go there. So with that being said, I'm just saying, I know some of you have lost like your closeness with some family members when you left religion and probably some friends. But I was wondering, have some of you lost a romantic relationship after you left religion? Like, did it put such a strain on your relationship that y'all split up? If that happened, let me know in the comments as well. You know, or whether it was a wife or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband, you know, did leaving religion put a strain on your romantic relationship? Also, what was the other one I wanted to say? Oh, and for those of you who are out here and left religion, how is it dating? Because, you know, I say if I go on Facebook or any other, what, you know, people when they describe themselves, they're God-fearing and or God first and all of this stuff, and you know, you look at them and their appearance, they might look nice and things that you like it, then they start with all the God talk. So for those of you out there that are probably single or, you know, I mean, when you go to date, do you still date Christians or do you really just seek to date non-religious people like yourselves? It's just something I've just been wondering about. So I would really like to sit down with people and talk about it, you know. What is it like? Because I was like, with the one I'm with, I said, if we broke up, right, I doubt I'd date a Christian woman. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I doubt it. And it would be better if I didn't, but I can't say, I mean, it's a hypothetical at this point. So y'all let me know in the comments if what I said, if you lost a romantic relationship, and if you're single, would you date a Christian or would you prefer a, you know, an atheist? Just let me know. So I didn't really have a whole lot to talk about today. I did see a lot of first timers watch that last video, and the views went up high on that video, which was surprising to me. Because normally when I get about 1,200, that's the core fans right there, about 1,200 people. They'll solidly watch all the time. After that, I guess it might be some new people. I'll see in the analytics, but it is what it is. You know, still in the comments, folks still don't understand. If you left religion, why don't you just leave it alone and just be quiet, stop talking about it? And it's funny, I was reading the comment like that, and I got to a stop sign. On the stop sign, somebody put a little stick up there talking some, you know, Jesus coming back soon. I'm like, see, this is the stuff I'm talking about. What if you didn't go around talking about Jesus? Can't you just leave that alone? But they feel they are right to plaster Jesus on billboards and on street signs and spray painted on walls, and they feel it's okay because in their mind what they have is the right thing, and it's the thing that everybody needs. When we here know we don't need that. It's very tribal. Christianity is very tribal. And we don't need that because even within the sect or the, you know, and the cult itself, you have so many divisions of it, and they don't agree on things themselves. Those that speak in tongues don't agree with those who don't speak in tongues. You know, those who say women shouldn't preach don't agree with the ones who say they shouldn't preach. Women should be quiet in the church. You know, those that wear makeup think that women shouldn't wear makeup and get the nails done. And all of that, but the other ones don't agree. You know, it's within the cult itself. There's a lot of division. So, and as I don't want to assume and say as we all know, but as many of us know, Christianity was not spread.
I don't like about you is you're not me.
I hate how that thing does that. Christianity was not spread with love and speaking of the gospel. Christianity was spread by. You had evangelical spies coming in, being nice, seeing what the people were about before they came and invaded those folks and declared it was going to be a Christian nation where they were after they slaughtered the people And you done seen enough people slaughtered. Either you believe this or you can be slaughtered too. You know, this is how religions, that's how they do. How do you think Islam is now the religion of Egypt? Egypt wasn't always a Muslim nation, but when they were invaded by Muslims, they became one. Them folks that are in Egypt are not Egyptians. The Egyptians are gone. Them folks now are just over there just trying to get you come to the pyramids and sell you stuff. They don't care nothing about that stuff. Religions. And I thought about religion too, how I kind of don't like when people say, oh, he doesn't believe in God. And I said, no, let's be clear. I don't believe in none of the gods. Well, there's only one God. No, you think there's only one God. Zeus is a god, but Zeus ain't real. But he's still a god, whether you believe so or not. There are people in Greece today who still worship Zeus. So just because your world is this big and you think there's just one God and your God is the true God, that doesn't speak for the world. There are still gods. We can sit here and just name and go through and see many gods. So don't say I don't believe in God. Be specific. I don't believe in gods. None of them. And Christians are just one God away from being the same way I am. If they leave that one God alone, you'll be in the same boat with me. And I was thinking about like in Egypt, when you had Akhenaten, and he stopped believing in all the gods and even moved the temple, the capital of Egypt, he moved it and said, we're not going to worship all these other gods. We're going to worship one God, Aten. And that was it. Akhenaten. And he was the father of Tutankhamun. So his name was Tutankhaten, but he changed it to Tutankhamun after his father died, and they went back to worshiping multiple gods. Multiple gods. Because these guys, they were mad with Akhenaten for worshiping one God because they were priests and they were highly respected, but now you didn't have all the multiple gods to be a priest over, a priest of that God, and they wanted him out of there. They wanted to worship multiple gods, which is why, like, the Christianity thing wasn't the first one to have monotheism. Akhenaten, he shot for that, but the people didn't want it. So after he died, King Tut, his son, brought all the gods back. Brought all the gods back, and the people were happy with multiple gods, which makes more sense to have multiple gods than one God. Like you look, one of the most popular pantheons now would be the ones of Greece, which we know they stole it. The Romans stole it from them. But we know you could have a god of the sea, a goddess of love, a god of healing, a god of the afterworld, of the underworld. You have a god of thunder and of lightning. You could have a god of war. You had many gods. There was a god for every attribute of life, and not just one God. And then the Christianity comes along, and it really, first it was Judaism, where Judaism started chopping off all the gods, and they got rid of El with his consort Asherah. They got rid of Asherah. They got rid of the children, and Yahweh was a child of El. And Baal, who's mentioned in the Bible, as he's a bad god in the Bible, the prophets of Baal. That was a whole Elijah story. Baal was just the brother of Yahweh, worshipped by a whole nother people. But if you're writing your story here, it's for your people that read it, and not for outsiders. But eventually, as we know today, the Judaism, as we call it, the Old Testament today, was taken from them, from that people, by the Romans. They added a New Testament and issued out a whole book. So today, what they had, everybody has. And people don't feel like, well, the Jews, y'all are not special, it's not yours anymore, because Paul said there's neither Jew nor Gentile, and slave nor free, and female and male, all that. So Everybody can do it. And that's what everybody did. They did it the way they wanted to do it. Before they had a whole Bible out there were many gospel stories that started floating around. So the whole Jesus thing it wasn't so defined as it is today. Until they did I don't do this stuff so much, it's hard for me to remember I can't remember the thing that they did in Rome where they defined Jesus. I'm gonna put it on the screen. And they said this will be what Jesus will be. And today the Christians believe that till this day. But if you went back before all of that was decreed, they had all kind of Jesuses floating around. All kind of Jesus stories out there. That's why you'll find some of the gospels out there like, that's a fake gospel. No, it's a gospel that just wasn't chosen to be in the canon. But it's another gospel story that wasn't real. So, the more you start to learn about the religion, the more you'll see what's what today. Learning the history of things helps you understand what it is in the present. So Christianity right now, people don't know, is still evolving. In fact, guy on Facebook, he did a post about the the Catholic priest, the woman that spoke when Trump showed up, telling him to show mercy on the immigrants, on the LGBT people, all of that, and some people got mad about that. She shouldn't do that, and he gonna say she's a false priest. She's self-appointed and whatever, and I commented. I said, she is free to do the myth however she sees fit. Everybody's doing the myth the way they want to. But if there is no God coming down and complaining about it, then what's the problem? If Jesus hasn't came and said anything about it, what's the problem? All of y'all are doing a myth. Myths can always be changed. So the version she's doing is just another sect of the cult. So what? What does it really change? Nothing. Remove the God part from your life, and what actually changes? Nothing. Remove prayer from your life, and what changes? Nothing. Nothing. God, good God. What is he good for? Absolutely nothing. Nothing but confusion and division. But the God thing is really good for nothing in the real world. Because in the real world, we don't really deal with God. Shoot. I'm going to answer that right back. Hold on. Yeah, so hold on, I'm going to shoot a quick text. Hold up. So, real world, we don't really need all of that stuff. People be thinking they need it, but it's a placebo. Which a placebo is just a sugar pill they give people to make them think they're taking a real pill that's going to do something, and they heal themselves with their minds. That being said, let me mention this. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but whatever. Back in around 2002, 2003, I had tapped into the power of speaking things into existence. And I had really tapped into it, just messing with it, and it started working. So I remember there was a time I was walking home, I was living on Stone Mountain in Metro Atlanta, and I was trying to cross the street, but the cars wouldn't stop coming. So I just spoke and said, I need the cars to stop coming so I can cross the street. And it just dried up. I casually strolled on across 4 lanes of traffic, And as soon as I got to the other side, the cars just started coming again. I was like, wow. So I started doing this all the time, just speaking things into existence. I worked a job where I worked third shift at a printing company. And that's when Atlanta had the Atlanta Thrashers, which was a hockey team here. So the Thrashers game would be over, and when I'm at 5 Point catching the MARTA train, all of the fans are out there who came from the game. They got to catch the train too. And I would hate them days because I'm already tired going in at 11 o'clock at night. And you got to stand up the whole way because unless you got a seat, it's just standing room only. So all the people were standing out there. We were all out there on the platform and waiting for the train to come. And I said, you know what? I'm tired tonight. I don't want to stand up. I want a seat. And I said it, and all the fans was out there. I didn't think about it anymore. We got on the train. I mean, and you literally get pushed on the train. You just getting pushed because everybody's just jamming in there. And I'm standing there, standing up, holding the rail before the train started. And there was a guy sitting right next to me, and he started looking. He said, "Hey, we at 5 Point. This is my stop." And he got up and left, and I sat down. And somebody right across from me said, "Somebody's looking out for you." I was like, well, I did say I wanted to sit down. It happened. I was doing this for everything, just speaking this word, and it was happening. So I'm on a job. It was a job where we helped those who needed food. You know, families that needed food, and they would come pick up food. And so I'm working there with my supervisor, and we had to do some of the air conditioning on the roof. When we had to climb the ladder, climb the ladder, we on the roof. It's a flat roof. And the air conditioning guys there, he took his stuff out of the cardboard box. He set it down, and it was very windy. The wind caught the box, and the box, it was like that box is blowing right off the roof. It's gone. And the guy said, "I need my box." And my supervisor said, "Bill, stop the box." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Box, stop moving." And it was windy as crap, and the box just stopped. And with all the wind blowing around, the box didn't move, and the guy casually walked over there and grabbed the box and brought it back. And he looked and said, "How did he do that?" And my supervisor said, "Oh, he does that all the time." Because he would see me doing it. I would just speak stuff, and it happened. I had tapped into it. Okay? This is where it got messed up. I had a Christian higher up tell me, "You're not supposed to do that. Because if it's not coming from the Holy Spirit, it's evil." And I was like, oh, okay, so if I'm doing it, if you're doing it, no. If it's not from the power of the Holy Spirit, it's from the power of Satan, it's evil. And I stopped doing it. Because of that, I stopped doing it. And like one of my daughters, she'll say, "Dad, why don't you do it today?" And I just be like, I just don't feel like it. I just didn't tap into it again. But I'm telling you, it's there. You don't need some fictional God or fictional Holy Spirit to really do stuff. Really, the power, you can do it, and I've seen it. There's many more things that I did using that, but I'm just saying you can do it. If you say it and you believe it, well, you can do it. So I just want to drop that on somebody. Somebody out here needed to hear that. Somebody needed to hear that. Tap into it. Tap into you. Look in the mirror and say, "I'm God. That's you. I am you. I am." Do it. You're waiting on some God you ain't never met. Some God that was introduced to you that you never met. Waiting on that to do something when you could do it yourself. Do it yourself. Waiting on a God. Won't he do it? No, he won't. You will. And with that being said, I'm about to be out of here, y'all. Like the video, subscribe, share them. Share it with your family, friends. Like I said, I try not to cuss in the videos so that you can share it with your family or whoever Christians that might watch, they get offended when they hear cussing. So I try to keep it as friendly as possible to allow people to actually listen and unlock their minds and think, because the enemy of religion is thinking. Religion stops you from thinking. It wants to control you. It does not want you to think. It's like back when I used to, when me and my wife had separated, and say I had met a woman, and the woman would ask me a question. Can I ask you a question? And I say no. Why? Because a question begets more questions. Then all you're going to be doing is sitting and ask me 100 questions that started from one. Well, can I ask you this? And you answer, well, what about questions beget questions? If you ask one, you're going to ask 100. So no, don't ask me a bunch of questions. That's what religion says. Don't ask questions. God works in mysterious ways. We aren't supposed to question God. You can't question. You see, if something's not real or it's not true, then they don't want it questioned. Because then you're going to find out it's a scam, it's a con. You get into a Ponzi scheme or some pyramid scheme, they don't want you answering or asking questions, because then you're going to find out you're getting scammed. Questions. So with that being said, y'all, look out for the Satan video that's coming up. I hope y'all enjoy it. I'm going to try to post it as soon as possible. And I will see y'all on the next video, which should be that video very soon. Y'all take care out there. Peace.